Is there going to be peace between the Turks and the Kurds? What does Abdullah Öcalan, the leader of the Kurdish movement, has to say about it? Hello everybody, my name is Stelios. I'm a professor of international relations and an advocate for democracy. Today we're going to be talking about the Kurdish issue, the so-called Kurdish issue. This is the idea that the Kurds need to have their own country, obviously, inside the Middle East, inside Mesopotamia, ancient Mesopotamia. This is their land. It consists of four different parts, actually. Part of southern eastern Turkey, northeastern Syria, the northern part of Iraq, and then some western part of Iran as well. So the Kurds have been fighting for their rights for an independent Kurdish nation for many years, and they started their armed struggle in the 80s. And the leader of this movement is Abdullah Öcalan. He is not only the political leader, also he was the military leader because before he was arrested, but he's also the political philosopher behind the national struggle of the Kurds, and he's an advocate for democracy the same way that we're advocating for democracy in this channel, meaning direct democracy, not republicanism or representative democracy, which is more of an oligarchy. He's in favor of the participatory decision-making process and participatory democracy. This is what's actually happening in Rojava, which is the Syrian part of Kurdistan, the northern eastern part of Syria, which is controlled by the Kurdish forces. So interestingly, this guy, he was arrested, he was abducted actually in 1999, and he is now in a prison island. This seems like Alcatraz. Actually, it's the Mediterranean Alcatraz. If you believe this, we do have this kind of backward, dark ages kind of prisons in our neighborhood. And maybe you guys have seen the Oriental Express movie film in Turkey and what kind of prisons the Turks have. And this is actually even worse than that. So there's one island in the middle of the Sea of Marmara, and there's the leader of the Kurds, Abdullah Öcalan, other three high-profile prisoners. They're political prisoners, all of them. And unfortunately, the Turks have been torturing these people. There's a so-called white cells torture, meaning that they keep Abdullah Öcalan in a cell which is white. The all the walls are white. The floor, the roof, everything is white. There is bright lights and loud music to drive him crazy. But guess what? He is not crazy, and he is struggling on for so many years. Also, they have been isolating him. For many years, he hadn't talked to any person. He didn't have any contact with anybody, any single person, again, to drive him mad. These are violent crimes. These are violations of basic human rights. Turkey should be dragged to the European Court of Justice for these obscenities and barbarities. But instead of that, the Turks have been trying to deal with the Kurdish issue and defeat the Kurds in any way possible, even through genocide. So interestingly, we saw a couple of months ago these the Turkish government has two different parties participating in it. One of them is the radical Islamist, almost jihadist party of Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the president. And I'm saying almost jihadist because he's supporting jihadists in Syria, like ISIS, like Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, and people like that. On the other hand, he is co-governing with a chauvinistic, ultra-nationalist, grey wolf guy named Devlet Bahçeli, who is 100% racist. So these guys, they have been trying to approach the Kurds, and they have been trying to broker some kind of deal with the Kurds. Why is that? And before the latest developments, there was also an attack against TUSAS, which is a military-industrial complex of Turkey. It's one of the major companies of the Turks that builds drones and attacks the Kurds in Iraq and Syria. So the Kurds, they took it upon themselves to attack this installation inside Ankara, inside the capital of Turkey. So even though we do have these attacks, there's some political developments lately, and Abdullah Öcalan is asked to bring peace between the Kurds and the Turks, and people have been asking, why is this happening? So let me explain. Lately, the Turks have been trying to defeat the Kurds militarily. Namely, they have been invading Iraq and launching attacks against the Iraqi Kurdistan for more than 5 years now. They have been defeated. They have not been able to succeed in dealing with the government in the Kurdish government in the Kandil Mountains, and the Kurds have tunnels in these mountains. Nobody can defeat them there. Also, lately the Turks, after the coup inside Syria, they backed the jihadists. They tried to ethnically cleanse northeastern Syria from the Kurds, and they use their proxies, their militias, their jihadist terrorists to attack the Kurds. I'm talking about the Syrian National Army, jihadist militias controlled by Ankara. They were defeated as well. So the Kurds defeated them. Initially there was a ceasefire agreement brokered by the U.S. and the Kurds agreed to leave some settlements, but then they saw that the Turks just won war, so they took it upon themselves to attack again, and they defeated the jihadists. So Turkey is losing on the military front, both in Iraq and in Syria. So they're trying to find other ways to deal with the Kurdish issue. So if militarily didn't work out for them, they are trying to do it politically. That is why they gave the permission to the pro-Kurdish party inside Turkey, the so-called DEM party, D-E-M party. Many of the members of this party, the officials and the MPs, are Kurdish. So the Erdogan government gave his agreement for 2 MPs of this pro-Kurdish DEM party to visit Imrali Island, the Alcatraz of the Aegean or the Black Sea, to visit Abdullah Öcalan, so maybe they can find a political solution. Interestingly, so this is what Devlet Bahçeli, the neo-fascist co-governor of Erdogan, had to say. He said that if the terrorist leader's isolation is lifted, let him come and speak. Let him declare that terrorism is over and the organization disbanded. So this is what they want. They want to disband the People's Party of Kurdistan, which is a nationalist, not a national. It's a national cause for the Kurds. So this is a freedom. This is a group of freedom fighters. This is not a terrorist organization. Terrorists are the ones supported by Turkey, like ISIS and HTS, and also the state of Turkey is a terrorist state as well. So it seems that they want some kind of deal with the Kurds. And yes, there was this meeting inside Imrali Island, this visit by 2 MPs, and let's see what Mr. Öcalan had to say. So he is not only he's not crazy, has not been driven crazy, but he's really, really bright and really, really intellectually he is aware, and he's also really capable of dealing with the barbaric government of Ankara. He said, and I quote, "I possess the necessary competence and determination to contribute positively to the new paradigm supported by Mr. Bahçeli and Mr. Erdogan. I am ready to take the necessary positive steps and make the required call." Then we had Erdogan, who responded to that, he said, "We hope this unique window of opportunity that the ruling coalition is offering to end the terror will not be sacrificed to personal agendas." Let me remind you that there was another of these kind of approaches back in 2013 by Erdogan again, but it was ended by Erdogan himself in 2015 because he was trying to, make fool of the Kurds. He tried to take advantage of them. The Kurds at the beginning, they trusted him, but he showed his true colors. Erdogan is a butcher. He is not to be trusted, and that's why he broke down the discussions in 2015. So he's going to be doing the same thing now. But let's see what Öcalan said in his reported statement by the people who visited him, the MPs who visited him. He said also that recent incidents in Gaza and Syria, they're showing that the resolution over the Kurdish issue can no longer be postponed. And he actually said that we need a democratic Turkey, and this is the context for this solution. This is extremely interesting, guys, because what does he mean with a democratic Turkey? He means, well, one of the biggest problems that the Kurds have in Turkey is that they don't have any rights. I remember back in 2008, I was studying in Boston, US, and there were some fellow students from Turkey, and when I was, blaming them about their treatment of the Kurds, they're telling me there are no Kurds. What are you talking about? There are no Kurds. These guys that you're referring to as Kurds are mountain Turks. So the denial of these people and of the country and society as well, they have been depriving Kurds of their nationality, their identity. They cannot speak Kurdish, they cannot be educated in Kurdish, they cannot even sing their music in Kurdish. So all of this needs to be protected, according to Abdullah Öcalan, who is really, really smart in suggesting so. And he's saying that the only way for us to agree, we need to have a new constitution, and we need to have the liberties and securities and rights that everybody has. That's what he's saying. He's saying that we should be equal, as brothers of this country. Turks and Kurds and everybody else should be equal equal in the face of against. Equal not only on the law but also on the actual constitution. So we need to have not only we need to have constitutional equality. That's what he's saying here. So equal liberties, rights, but also powers. Why is he saying this? Well, two reasons. First, because he knows that Erdogan needs to amend the constitution. That's why he's approaching the Kurds. Erdogan is out of options. He cannot run ever again because there's a term limit on the constitution 2 times. He's already served 3, actually. But this is for another discussion. So there's no way for him to run again. He needs to amend the constitution, and he needs an increased majority in the national parliament of Turkey. So he's trying to get the votes from the Kurds. The Kurds control the Dem party. Again, as I said, this is the 3rd larger force in the Turkish parliament. So he wants their votes to, amend the constitution. And the Kurdish leader is saying, you know what, yes, we can help you with that. You can amend the constitution. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Remember, last year, the Erdogan lost on the municipal elections. He actually lost for the first time. So, we can help you, and we can amend the constitution so you can run again. Let's hope you lose. But you can amend the constitution. But once you amend the constitution, we would like to have our guarantees in this new constitution. And what he's saying is, we're gonna democratize Turkey. And if that happens, well, guess what? Turkey is going to be destroyed because the regime in Ankara is going to fall apart, because this is a brutal genocidal regime, and it has been keeping these people hostage, not only the Kurds, but also Assyrians, Armenians, Syrians, even Greeks that live inside Turkey. They have been hostage to this neo-fascist Nazi regime in Ankara. So if there's any democratization process, the whole regime is going to tumble down. It's going to fall into different parts and chunks. The people of Anatolia are going to be free, and whatever happens, we're going to be seeing new borders inside Turkey. So he is a really, really this proposal by the leader of the Kurdish movement is really sophisticated. He's saying, yes, we can help you with amending the constitution, but this is going to cost you. It's going to cost you our equality, our rights, and maybe even the existence of this oppressive state. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. If you did like this video, like and subscribe. You can share it around. And if you're interested in this kind of topics, please make sure that you're following us. Because there are going to be more videos like this coming. Thank you guys. Keep raising the black flag, and I'll see you in the next one. This is the only way for the people of Anatolia to live peacefully, because we're seeing Turkey invading Syria, Iraq, Libya also. They have been really aggressive there. So the only way for the people of this region to live peacefully, Mesopotamia, Anatolia, is for the so-called state, the regime in Ankara, to become disbanded. And then the people of Anatolia, Greeks, Kurds, Armenians, they can decide among themselves how to live in harmony and brotherhood with the rest of the people in the region.